Hey guys, welcome back to another Halloween Planet Zoo build. Today we're going to be building a spooky shop and it's going to have a graveyard outside and I'm really excited to build this. So I'm starting off on a fresh zoo. I've just put a little river in here and some trees and a bridge, and now I'm going to go and start the building. So where I'm from, we have a lot of these really old dry stone walls, especially around like farms and churches and things like that. And usually by now they're all kind of falling down or half falling down, and they're just kind of like these piles of rocks in the middle of the fields. And I think it looks really cool, so I'm gonna try and replicate that on here. The wall pieces on their own don't really give that look, so I'm gonna add in some rocks and make it look like it's just kind of collapsed. I was so sad that I couldn't change the color of these Indian archways because I think they would have gone really well with it, but I made do with some other pieces and added the rocks into it again. I think a really bad habit of mine is spending too little time on a build. I think I get to a point in the build where I think, oh, hey, that looks pretty cool, let's save it and move on to the next thing. So I've got so many ideas that I want to do. But really, like, spending time to do all these tiny little details makes a massive difference in builds, and that's something that I'm starting to realize now, and I'm glad that I've realized it because it's just made a world of difference. I decided to go a little bit bold with the roof choices, and I went for this kind of dark purple. I really wanted to keep with the kind of Halloweeny theme, and whenever I think of Halloween, I always think of oranges and dark purples and greens, so that's kind of what I'm going for here. I'm going to add on these side bits. I think the building looks a bit too square otherwise, and I wanted these kind of little side doors. It always makes me think of old churches. And these like little, I don't know how to explain it, like a curved kind of wall bit at the bottom. It's just a shame it doesn't go over the door, but oh well. I absolutely adore these little windows because you can change the color of the lights behind. So I've gone for this kind of like spooky green color, and then the frame is purple to match the roof, and oh my god, I just love it so much. So it's time to do the graves now. I'm going to add in these little dirt piles from the gardening section and some little gravestones and some rocks and plants, and also going to build this raised kind of tombstone. They seem pretty common in like especially old graveyards, and I think they look really cool. These little wall lanterns also work really well with the theme, and they go really well with the windows because they can change the color to match and also change the color of the lighting as well. So it's all this very kind of eerie, green, spooky kind of color, and I just love it to bits. I'm adding on some ivy, and I think it gives it that kind of weird kind of we've just found this building in the middle of a forest look to it, and like maybe like an old witch hut or something. I suppose the thing with ivy is that it tends to kind of just take over a building, take over the walls and crawl everywhere. So I really want it to kind of cover the walls and the roof with it because that's basically what ivy does. So as I was saying before, I had this really bad habit of stopping a build far too early and not finishing off the final touches, and I decided at the end of this bit to stop the build, and I kind of regretted that, and I went back through later on after I'd done the second part of it, which you may have seen a sneak peek of, which is another part to my Halloween build. But I want to show the touches I went back and made to this build because it really made it so much better. I absolutely love these falling leaves effects, and I think they make so much of a difference to the build. And I'm gonna add in some mist as well. I literally just forgot that the special effects existed. I used them a lot in Planet Coaster, but never really in Planet Zoo because I never really saw a need. But honestly, the leaves are just so beautiful. And here we are done. I think I'll probably end up going through and tweaking it a little bit and adding things here and there as I go through this, because this is going to be a whole project. At the end, I'm hoping to have a whole Halloween themed build. Anyway, that's it. So if you want to find this on the Steam Workshop, you can. I'll put the link down below. If you want to keep up to date with how the builds go in and see the Halloween build when it's complete and have a look at it then, please like and subscribe and all of that. And I will see you in the next video where I'm going to be building a pumpkin farm. Bye!